The first few months with him were filled with a kind of bliss I hadn't expected. Every morning felt like a promise, and every evening held the warmth of what we were building together. I remember the way he laughed at the smallest things, the sound of it echoing through the apartment, filling every corner with a kind of lightness that made everything feel brighter. The days felt easy with him. There was a sense of security, like I was walking through life with someone who wanted to share it all with me. His hand in mine was the kind of touch that promised forever. I used to love the way his fingers would curl around mine, the way his touch made everything feel just right, as though the world could spin on its axis and we'd be fine. It was so easy to imagine the future with him, to think that we could navigate parenthood together, that our little family would be built on the foundation of all those small moments, laughing, talking, loving. I had never been one to plan too much for the future, but with him, everything felt like it would come naturally. We talked about the baby, about her name, about what kind of parents we would be, and how our little one would fit so perfectly into the life we were creating. There was a comfort in those plans, a feeling of certainty that wrapped around me like a warm blanket. But now, as I sit in the living room with her sleeping soundly in my arms, everything feels different. The room is colder. The hum of the refrigerator, the distant sound of cars outside, the soft ticking of the clock on the wall, these sounds seem louder now, somehow, as if the silence that had once filled our home has been replaced by something heavier. I still catch myself waiting for him to walk through the door, hear his voice call my name, and feel the familiar warmth of his presence fill the space. But it's not happening. The baby sleeps peacefully, unaware of the turmoil that swirls around us. I keep hoping that he'll come back, that everything will be okay again, that he'll walk through the door, apologize for whatever happened, and we'll go back to how things were. But I know deep down, that won't happen. It's just the silence now, louder than ever, and the emptiness where his presence used to be. I don't know how to fill it, or even if it's possible to fill it anymore. I look down at her, her tiny chest rising and falling with each breath, and for a brief moment, the world feels like it's still, like everything is okay again. But the stillness of the room wraps around me like a heavy cloak, reminding me of what's been lost. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know what comes next, but I hold on to her, hold on to this one little thing that I can keep safe, the one piece of my life that I can still understand. It happened so fast. I remember that day as if it's already faded into a distant memory. The last morning I saw him, the last time his face was close to mine, the last time he kissed me. It wasn't anything special, just another quiet morning as we made breakfast together, our baby tucked safely in her crib, the soft light of dawn spilling across the floor. It all felt so normal, so ordinary, that I didn't even realize it would be the last time. I was focused on our plans for the day, thinking of what to do next, where to go for groceries, how to arrange the baby's nursery. We talked like we always did, about mundane things, the routine of life, how tired we both were but how worth it everything was. We laughed at a joke, and for a moment, I thought everything was perfect, that we had everything figured out. I could feel the warmth of his hand brushing mine as he handed me the coffee, his eyes meeting mine with that familiar, comforting look. That moment, like so many others, felt like nothing could possibly disrupt it. But it was disrupted. The phone rang, and when I answered it, it felt like time had stopped. The voice on the other end wasn't his, and it wasn't the voice I wanted to hear. It was someone I didn't know, telling me that he was gone. The words didn't make sense at first. They were too simple, too abrupt. He had left. He couldn't do this anymore. He couldn't be here. He was sorry, but it was over. I stood there, holding the phone to my ear, hearing the words echo in my mind as if they had been spoken in another language. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to ask. How could I? He had been there just hours ago, in the same kitchen, beside me, laughing, talking, making plans. But now he was gone, without warning, without explanation. The world shifted on its axis, and I was left standing in the middle of it, a sudden emptiness where everything had once felt solid. I kept asking the same question, why? What had happened? Why hadn't he said something? Why hadn't he warned me that he was slipping away, that he was going to leave? But there were no answers. Just silence. And that voice, so flat, telling me that I would have to accept it. I tried calling him back, over and over, but the calls went straight to voicemail. I could hear my own heartbeat in the silence. The apartment that had once been filled with the quiet hum of a shared life now felt vast and empty. The baby's soft coos were the only sound in the room, a sharp contrast to the coldness of what I had just heard. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to breathe. I walked through the apartment, feeling the weight of each step, each corner that used to feel familiar but now seemed foreign. The pictures on the walls, the furniture, the toys scattered around the baby's room, they were all reminders of a life that no longer existed. How was I supposed to understand this? How was I supposed to keep living, to keep going, when everything had just been ripped away in one fell swoop? The hours blur together now. I wake up when she cries, I feed her, I rock her back to sleep. The days pass in a haze, one indistinguishable from the next. I try to keep some semblance of normalcy for her sake, to give her the routine she needs, but inside, it feels like I'm slowly crumbling. The mornings are quiet, too quiet, and the evenings stretch on endlessly. I don't remember the last time I had a full conversation with anyone. It's just me and her now. She's only 3 months old. So small, so innocent. She doesn't know anything about what's happened, about why she's here with me alone, or where her father went. All she knows is that I'm here, and I will always be here for her. I try to smile when she looks up at me, her big eyes taking in the world around her with such trust. She doesn't yet know the weight of what she's been born into, the mess that's been left behind. And I don't want her to know. Not yet. Not ever. But in the quiet of the night, when the house is still and she's asleep in her crib, I feel the weight of everything. He's gone. The life I thought we were building, the future I thought we had together, none of it's here anymore. I keep thinking about the things he said, the promises he made. The plans we had. They seem so distant now, like a dream I once had but can no longer remember clearly. I reach for the memories, but they slip through my fingers, fading with every passing day. The hardest part isn't just the abandonment. It's the feeling of betrayal, the realization that someone I trusted, someone I loved, could walk away without a second thought. I replay everything in my mind, wondering if I missed the signs, if I did something wrong. Was I not enough for him? Did he not want this life with me? I never thought I'd be here, sitting in the silence of an empty home, holding our daughter and wondering what went wrong. What happened to the man who said he'd be there for us? What happened to the life we dreamed of? I can't help but feel lost. I'm trying to figure out how to do everything on my own, how to be strong for her, how to provide for her, how to manage the weight of it all without breaking. And some days, I do break. I break in small ways, in quiet moments when I feel the loneliness press in too hard, when the tears come without warning. There are no more phone calls, no more texts. There's just the absence, the empty space he left behind, the hole that I can't fill no matter how hard I try. It's hard to stay hopeful when every corner of this house, every piece of furniture, every toy scattered on the floor, reminds me of him. It feels impossible to let go, and yet, I know I must. I have to keep moving forward, for her. She needs me to be strong. I tell myself that every day, but it doesn't make it any easier. Some days, I can't stop the tears. Some days, I can't shake the feeling that I'm drowning. But I won't let her see it. She deserves better than that. She deserves a mother who can smile and love her without fear. The days are starting to feel like a blur, a never-ending cycle of feeding, soothing, and trying to keep everything together. I wake up to the soft, innocent cries of my baby girl, and for a moment, I wonder if everything with him, was just some dream, some happy illusion. The first time she smiled at me, I thought I could breathe again, that maybe this little face, this tiny life, was all I needed to move forward. But no matter how tightly I hold her, how much I love her, I can't escape the truth. I'm still alone. She's still too young to understand, and in some ways, that makes it harder. How do I explain to her, when she's older, why he's not here? Why the man who helped create her isn't around to hold her, to see her grow? How do I protect her from the hurt I feel, the weight of the silence that's filled our home since he left? It's in the small moments, when the house is too quiet, that the reality sets in. The emptiness in the rooms where his things used to be, the jacket he always hung by the door, his shoes kicked off carelessly in the hallway, the coffee mug he used every morning, those little reminders catch me off guard. Every time I walk past them, my heart aches, and I wonder if I'll ever be able to shake this feeling, this emptiness that fills every corner of our life. I keep asking myself what went wrong, what I missed, what I didn't see. We were supposed to be a family. I wanted us to be a family. I wanted to watch her grow up with him by my side, to share in the joy of her milestones, to feel like we had built something beautiful together. But now, all I have are questions. What happened to the man I thought I knew? The person I imagined would be by my side through everything? Was I not enough? Did I ask for too much? And there are days when I can't stop thinking about how everything changed in the blink of an eye. I don't understand how he could just walk away, how he could leave without a second thought. I try to hold on to the good moments, the laughter, the love, but they feel so far away now. The space he left behind is too big, too deep, and no matter how much I try to fill it, it feels like the hole will always be there. I try to focus on her, on the tiny life in my arms. She needs me. I know she does. But it's hard when every little sound she makes, every tiny breath she takes, reminds me of the life I thought we'd have. I'm learning how to breathe again, learning how to live without him, and it's harder than I ever imagined. Some days I wish I could rewind time, go back to before all of this, when everything felt simple, when we had hope. But I can't. All I have now is this empty house, the quiet hum of a life that was once full, and the overwhelming responsibility of trying to be everything for her. I look at her sleeping face, the peace in her expression, and wonder if she will ever know the pain that fills my heart. I hope she doesn't. I hope she never has to feel this emptiness, this hollow space that keeps growing inside of me. But no matter how hard I try to hold it together, no matter how many smiles I put on for her, the truth is always there, lurking in the back of my mind. I am alone. I sit in the nursery, watching her sleep peacefully in her crib, her tiny chest rising and falling in a rhythm I have come to depend on. Her face, so serene in the moonlight, holds none of the worries I carry with me every day. She is everything, and yet, I can't shake the feeling that I'm drowning in the weight of everything else. The house feels quieter now, more still than it ever did before. There's no more laughter, no more conversations about what we'd do when she was older, what we'd teach her, where we'd take her. There are no more plans. Just the silence that now echoes in every room. I still find myself waiting for him to walk through the door, to return and take his place in this life we started together. But the truth is, he's gone. And I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to build a future for her, for us, when I can barely hold myself together. How do you move forward from this? How do you rebuild a life when the foundation you thought you had is gone, erased without a word, without a second thought? I hold her in my arms and wonder if she will ever know what it was like before. Will she ever understand the man who walked out on us, the man who promised to stay but chose to leave? I hope not. I hope she will grow up in a world filled with love and stability, one where the cracks I'm trying so desperately to hide won't show. I will protect her from this pain, even if it means carrying it in silence. I still think about what happened, trying to make sense of it, to understand how he could leave without even trying. Was it something I did? Something I said? Or was it simply that he wasn't ready for this life, for the responsibility that comes with it? I keep asking myself these questions, but I have no answers. I don't think I ever will. And that's one of the hardest things to accept, that there will be no explanation, no closure. All I can do now is keep moving, keep breathing, keep trying to be the best mother I can be. For her. I can't be what I was before. I can't pretend that everything is okay when I'm still falling apart on the inside. But I can be her mother. I can give her what I never had, a life filled with love, with strength, with the promise that no matter what happens, I will always be here for her. The days are long. The nights even longer. But she needs me. She needs me to be strong, even when I don't know how to be. So, I will try. I will keep moving forward, even if I don't know what the next step is. I will find a way to be okay again. I will learn how to breathe again. But right now, as I sit here in the quiet, with her asleep in my arms, I don't know what tomorrow will bring. I don't know how I'll get through the next day or the day after that. I don't know how to heal. I don't know anything, really. But I do know this, I will love her with everything I have. And that's enough for now.
Reading this story feels like a punch to the gut. The way the girl is left alone, grappling with the sudden loss of her partner, the uncertainty that follows, it all feels so real, so raw. I can't help but feel the weight of her isolation, her emotional disarray. It's as if the world she had carefully built, brick by brick, crumbled overnight, leaving her to pick up the pieces. The way she constantly questions herself, wondering if she did something wrong, if she wasn't enough, it's heartbreaking. It's something so many of us, in different circumstances, can relate to. The gnawing self-doubt after someone you loved and trusted walks away. It's so real. I feel that ache in my chest for her, knowing that she may never get the closure she so desperately deserves, and that lack of answers is like an open wound that she just has to live with. Her love for her daughter, though, that is so beautifully, painfully evident. The way she strives to shield her baby from the pain while silently carrying it, it's a testament to the strength of mothers, of women in crisis, doing everything they can to survive, even when they're falling apart on the inside. I feel both admiration and sadness for her because I know this struggle won't be easy, and yet she's committed to moving forward, even without knowing what that truly looks like. In the uncertainty of tomorrow, that line, that feeling of not knowing how to move forward but doing it anyway, it's so poignant. So often, we find ourselves in situations where we don't have the answers, where the future feels impossible to navigate. But sometimes, all you can do is take one breath at a time, one step after another, even when it feels like you're walking in the dark. By the end, I felt this deep empathy for her. She's not just struggling with the absence of her partner, but with the absence of certainty, of a clear path ahead. And while that uncertainty is terrifying, there's a quiet resilience in her, the love for her daughter, the promise to be there for her, even when she doesn't know how she'll survive herself. It's a powerful, emotional story. It leaves me thinking about the strength we don't always realize we have until we're forced to find it. But it also leaves me with a heavy heart, knowing that not everyone has the answers or the clear path to healing. Yet somehow, she's managing to keep going, one moment at a time, and that's a form of strength I can't help but admire.